there's a fine
I do
line.
that too, but the answers I get are so diminished.
There's a fine line between brilliance
Gotta
and
take
insanity
notes.
with that one.
Sorry, if you're not writing stuff down and jotting a note, you know, you go home to practice, you have nothing to practice because you have no notes to refer to.
Yep.
That's right.
Okay, so go ahead.
So,
All right.
On a case-by-case basis, my
You're right.
fee for my services runs between $150 to $200, and then I charge, depending if it's in-state or out of state, I charge for my time to come and testify. So I would have to get with an accountant to determine what I've earned this year, if that's what your question is, because I don't have the actual number.
okay. I mean, you just mentioned $150 to $200. Is that per hour, or is that per?
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance here has really nothing to do with this.
Oh,
It's been asked and answered.
overruled. It'll go to the weight. I'll allow it because we haven't, you know, when.
Is that, Ms. Cantrell, is that on an hourly basis, or is that like a per client, or?
Per title abstract that I do, when I prepare my affidavit for a client, I charge between $150 to $200, unless there's some reason that I have to go into a really long, more involved title abstract. That is my fee.
And how long does would you estimate the normal title abstraction take?
Objection, Your Honor. This has nothing to do with their expert testimony. It has
Okay,
nothing to do with this
overruled.
case.
It'll go to the weight. He's allowed to discover exactly what the process is.
There's clients that I have spent 10 hours doing their title abstract. They have multiple documents. I've seen as many as 10 different assignments of deed of trust.
Okay, go ahead and add the word 10 fraudulent assignments.
10 fraudulent assignments of deed of trust.
And that means 10 different felonies. So I've got to look at this stuff carefully.
Yeah, and then there's other clients where there were no assignments. There's just a deed of trust and a note that I am examining.
Yeah,
So it can be an hour, it can be 10 hours. Is average is probably 3 to 4 hours.
Thank you. And Ms. Cantrell, on your examinations, have you ever found any assignments that are not fraudulent?
Objection, Your Honor. This has nothing to do with this case.
I will sustain that one. There's let me discover something here, and I may alter my ruling. What is it you're trying to establish, please?
Well, I'm trying to just to find out. She does these title abstracts, and it appears that all of the abstracts that she has done, that there has been fraudulent documents in every
Okay,
one of
now
them.
it's time for you to hit him. He just spread his legs, and he ain't wearing a cup. Why the f are you sitting there? Your Honor, is he trying to say that all the documents the banks are filing are fraudulent, or is he trying to say she's fraudulent? Because I want this clarified for the record right now.
Okay, Your Honor.
Okay, hold on.
For clarification purposes, is the defendant saying that she's fraudulent or all the documents are fraudulent?
No, again, please listen to what I say, please. Is he trying to establish on the record that all of the documents the banks are filing are now fraudulent, or is he trying to establish that what she's doing is fraudulent? Because the way you word that's very important. Yes.
The question was, have you found fraud in your investigations? The reflex that we're teaching here is, I object. At that point, isn't counterproductive, and you're going to be inhibiting your witness? Should that witness
No,
not
because
answer that?
even if I sustain her overrule, she can decide to answer it. I want him to get something. When you get a chance to throw something on the record to crotch kick him, you better do it. Don't let that shit go. Pay attention to what he's saying, okay?
And then, did you further go on the second half of that to kind of try and guide him away from it, and he didn't take the
No, because she knows how to handle herself. I'm not worried about her. I'm trying to train him.
Yeah.
Okay? So he spread his legs. Kick him in the balls. Don't let it go. Okay? Now it's like he's going to have to go back. Okay, please restate your question.
Yeah, let me rephrase my question, Ms. Cantrell. On the examinations that you have conducted, about how many or what percentage of the abstracts you have looked at have fraudulent recorded documents versus documents that are not fraudulently recorded?
Objection, Your Honor. Is the defendant stating that all documents are fraudulent?
No, Jay, please listen to me.
Okay.
Objection, Your Honor. First of all, you got to catch the fraudulent thing. It's not about fraudulent, it's about false or forged. So objection, Your Honor. Is he attempting to establish for the record what percentage of the documents the banks are recording are fraudulent? Or is he attempting to establish that she is coercing the documents into appearing fraudulent? So I will sustain that objection.
Okay.
Can you rephrase that question one more time?
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Cantrell, of the documents that you have examined, have you ever found any recordings in the county recorder's office that are not or would not be considered fraudulent recordings?
Objection, Your Honor, is
No, I overruled. I'm going to allow this. It'll go to the weight, but it seems like a very viable question. Please answer the question, Ms. Cantrell.
In my examinations, every one has been different in every way imaginable. I have found fraud with almost, I'd say 90% of the deeds of trust that I've looked at. Therefore, any assignments that have come after the deeds of trust that were fraudulent would have been invalid.
Excuse me, Ms. Cantrell, that was a yes or no question. Can you just answer yes or no?
Well, and Cindy, we've got to be real careful here because you're doing the same thing that these guys are doing. We got to step away from fraudulent. Okay, they're either false or forged. Fraudulent, we need the elements. With false or forged, we don't.
I'll rephrase that too as false.
Well, no, he's going to try and do the fraudulent thing because he wants you to fall for it, and you're falling for it. See, Your Honor, it's really not about fraudulent. It's about false or forged. These documents are false. Some of them are false, some of them are forged. Some of them are false and forged.
First of all, I don't have all my case files in front of me, so I'm just, from memory, I would say, pursuant to the deeds of trust that I have examined, again, without the case files in front of me, I would suggest that probably 90% of the deeds of trust that I have examined in my reports have evidence of false and or forged documents that either came in succession to the deed of trust or the deed of trust itself was, excuse me, false and or forged.
Thank you. So, in your opinion, 90% of all of the recorded deeds of trust are invalid?
Objection, Your Honor. How does this man come up with a 90%?
Your Honor, you
just
said
said it.
about 90%.
Overruled because that was stupid.
You got a question?
Can I tell? Objection, Your Honor. It's he's trying to draw cause for speculation that is overgeneralization for everything and not just the scope of her expertise.
I will sustain that. You know, I would. Are you attempting to establish? You know, let me rephrase my own question. What are you attempting to establish? Go ahead and make that clear and direct it towards the court.
Well, Your Honor, Ms. Cantrell does this for a living. She examines all these documents, and she has indicated that in about 90, in her opinion, and I think in her words, about 90% of them are the documents that are entered. She has found evidence of false or forged documents entered into the court. So I'm asking, is the conclusion by her, is it her opinion that 90% of these entered documents cause the deed of trust to be invalid?
Now you're just going to sit there and piss me off, man.
There's no way that I can testify under oath about cases that I do not have in front of me. So what I can say generally is that in every case that I have examined, I have found some evidence of a false or a forged document. Your original question, if I remember, was regarding just the assignment. Because the deed of trust would be the first document recorded, if there is issues with that document being false and or forged, then any assignment or substitution of trustee or notice of sale that came after the fact would be evidence of false and or forged documents. So again, without my case files in front of me, I have no way to tell you an exact number of false and or forged documents. However, I can tell you this, that in every case that I have prepared an affidavit, there has been one or more documents that I have listed as false and or forged.
Okay. We're done, guys. It's past 2. Go ahead.
Objection calls for speculation. That would have been the objection
It could have been, and it probably would have been the best in that case because of the way it was worded. We're going to do something real quick because we got to be done. You're going to say 5 words. I don't care what those 5 words are. Then you're going to say objection and something. So do it. Eeny, meeny, miny,
Objection, relevance, Your Honor.
overruled. Do it again.
Eeny, meeny, miny, moe.
Objection, relevance.
Miss Cantrell, where were you on the night of October 3rd?
Objection, relevance.
I need this in your head. Do it. Do it quickly.
Okay, Miss Cantrell, do you have anybody to assist you in this business?
Objection, Your Honor, relevance.
Miss Cantrell, have you ever testified for a bank?
Objection, facts not in evidence.
Okay, there you go. That's it. Yes.
Objection, and I move this court to ask counsel, where is he going with all of this?
Yeah, and you can do that. And you can always ask that. You know, you want to go to badgering the witness. But if you don't know what to say after objection, say relevant. When he says something, you object. You got that?
Got it.
What if you're on the witness stand yourself? Can you, and you're not represented? Can you still object while you're
Sure
on the
you
witness
can.
stand?
You're still your representative. Sure, objection, Your Honor. Where's he going with this? He's badgering me.
I have something to just say. If anybody has court, Jay, you too, please send me an email, let me know when, where, and how. Let me respond back to you that I am not already scheduled for somebody else's court or my own, and that I will be here in town to be there for you, okay? So please don't just assume that you told me today that I don't even remember what day you're going to court yet.
Next Friday.
Next Friday. Okay, send me an email, let me know where, when, how, and I'll put it in my book, and that way I got it down.
And make sure you go to john@showmethelone.net
Yes.
and give me your email addresses if you're not on there so that you can be on the mass email. Yeah.
Can I take a second too? Sure. I'm going to step out of my comfort zone here for a second. Just to start getting people to start. This won't take long. For everybody out here, I have last week's Sunday up. It is my goal to get these things up as fast as you can. You can go to YouTube, search showmethelone.net. Help out, do a search for John Stewart and showmethelone.net. The more hits we get, the higher the ratings we go. That'll help out a lot. I think
Say that again. Where do you go again?
go to YouTube. It's Show Me the Loan. The second search you can do is John Stewart. Tell everybody you know to do that. That helps us out immensely. Second thing is, on our website, showmethelone.net, there's a link where it says forum. We need to start pushing this forum really, really hard. There's a section in there that is separated by state. So for this thing to get big, huge, and move and explode to everybody, groups need to get together in other states. There's a few people who in Chicago that want to start doing this stuff, and a couple other places in Florida. They want to get groups together so that we can start doing this. If we can get people together, create other groups, we can start getting a communication going, and we can start hammering them, not just in Arizona, not just in Florida, but everywhere. We've got to get as much word out as possible. Yes?
I
can get out of your rant view.
Okay.
I know to try and take notes in this stuff is difficult with a notepad. I know you always push. If you don't see notepads, you get fired up. Shush. I got away with it too. You can go on. I have last week's up. I do my best. I'm up till 4 o'clock in the morning editing this stuff. I made a joke earlier. I recognize the F-bomb wave pattern now. I'm getting better at editing that stuff out. So I go in and I edit it. I take out the dead spot and make it worthwhile. So there is a playlist on YouTube that has all of last Sunday's up. I'm going to work very hard to get this Sunday's up. So if there's something you've missed, go ahead. You can go on there. You can make your notes. I'm going to try and put notes up on there as well if he brings up an ARS or a UCC code or something. So you can go back and review this again. It is very time consuming. I didn't get it up until very late on Tuesday. So be mindful of the fact I'm working very hard on it. But it is up. Last Sunday's is up there. You can go back, review the notes. I'm going to work very hard to get this one up. Tuesdays, we do a Tuesday broadcast as well. Those ones are not going to be put on YouTube, period. It's too informal. There are too many F-bombs. There's too many rants. And it's more theory discussion than anything. So if you can't be on there live, I apologize. I'm not going to have that up. and this is more for the benefit of the people on the internet. Some materials, if there's something super important, I might put it up, but we are not putting Tuesday stuff up. That's a live only. So.